You're watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Hey, welcome to the Poe Show, broadcasting live from T Radio V in Hollywood, California. Okay, you guys know. This is where we elevate the creative cult. This is where creatives can be seen, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching us. I'm Poe. Okay, so Thursday, May 5th, from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., Cinco de Mayo, La Magique Fantastique Rock Show. You gotta make this. I'll be there. I can say hi to you. This is at the State Social House, 8782 West Sunset Boulevard, WeHo. A free and amazing show starring Susie Malone, who is going to stop by to bring tickets, but if you need tickets, let me know, and I'll get them for you. She's the producer and world's premier burlesque magician. Sarah Mann, an original cast member, dance captain, aerialist, and lead magic assistant, performing regularly with Susie Malone for Chuck Wright's of Quiet Riot, Ultimate Jam at the Whiskey A Go-Go. And Yolanda Thomas, Aussie rock singer sensation, this two-time LA Music Award winner, will be tearing up the stage with her amazing voice and sex appeal. La Magique Fantastique is a Parisian-themed magical cabaret show, action-packed with amazing magic and illusions, lavish costumes, and gorgeous girls, taking you on a journey through time. So check it out, Cinco de Mayo. Buy me a beer. That'd be awesome. Or 5, because it makes sense. And then take me home. Just kidding. On Thursday, May 12th at 9 p.m., Harmful If Swallowed. At the world-famous Molly Malone's in Hollywood, 575 South Fairfax Avenue, Los Angeles. Now, Harmful If Swallowed will be on my next show, so check them out next Monday as well. Their infectious sound offers a fusion of punk and rock, their own formula evolving from the earlier days of punk to a modern array of pop punk and rock, layered with their own flavor and views. These LA locals serve up stirring live performances, hard-hitting rock beats, intelligent lyrics, and unforgettable hooks. So take a deep breath, but try not to swallow. $10 at the door. I like their name, if you didn't notice already. Okay, sorry. So today, I'm already inappropriate. I'm so sorry, but that's their name. So today, we're talking art. Fine art on flesh and canvas. With fine tattoo artists, with his work perhaps the most literal translation of his sense of artistic permanence, believing every mark made is meant to be, nothing is erased, nothing is corrected, proprietor of Speakeasy Tattoo in Los Angeles, and truly a fine art artist, Scott Glazier. Welcome, Scott. Don't forget the mic.
Thank you. Yeah, got it. Work on that.
Yeah, work on that. You can move it like in a different place. You move it wherever you want.
Right here would be perfect.
Just not in your face, though. You're pretty tall, though. Okay. With his apprentice, Jane Cho, and Speakeasy client, Laura Altamirano. Welcome.
Hi.
Did I say your name right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you did. Good job.
I had to, put little hyphens in the middle of it. Okay. So this is a really interesting show because, and hold on, I gotta fix mine. Something's wrong. Okay. I'm going to forget about it, though. Okay, so this is interesting because we have a fine art artist who has gone into tattooing. So tell us just, briefly how that happened, because you've had Speakeasy for 10 years, but have you been doing tattooing longer than that? And how did you integrate the two? That wouldn't be hard to do, but most tattoo artists don't have the artistic, fine art is what I mean, aspect to them.
Yeah, I guess I believe it comes in the order. If you're fine art first, or if you're tattooing first, trying to be painting second. But yeah, painting first for me. So 15 years or longer painting, and then tattooing came later, and then it becomes more of just understanding the physics behind the tools, the anatomy of the skin, and having, be lucky enough for somebody to kind of guide you through that.
Well, I stalk you like I stalk everybody that's going to be on my show. I have a nickname.
The stalker.
Actually, close. It's the creepy little stalker.
Oh, even better.
Because I usually know more about my guests than they do once they get on the
Yeah,
show.
that's what worries me.
But in promoting the arts, unless it's like something that's really gonna like elevate your career, which could be nudity or something, then I won't post it unless it's gonna be good for you in the long run.
It's great.
Okay, so I think it would be fantastic to show, is it the Speakeasy video? Yeah, let's go to the Speakeasy tattoo video so we can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about here with the quality of tattooing. And then we'll be back.
Video.
Check it out. See, so Scott takes it to a whole nother level. There's tattoos, and there's good tattoos, and being an artist and very visual person myself, I appreciate a well-done tattoo.
Thank you.
Even though I
Thank
just
you
have
for
one
that.
on the back of my neck.
Oh, right. I haven't got to see that yet.
I haven't either.
Oh.
Sometimes I think, why? Why did I do that? I never get to see it.
Yeah, it's true. On the back is,
What's on your back? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't ever seen it. I just know that my former apprentice did most of it. That's because it's my back, so I know I'm not going to get to see it. So
They had your back?
yeah, exactly.
Sorry. That was so bad. Okay, so tell us what, okay, I have a, and this word's kind of hard for me, hopefully I'll get it right. The symbiosis, did I say it right? Between fine art and tattoo art is an important distinction that lends itself to the overall quality of the work. Hallelujah. Is that correct or is that correct? You guys saw that. It was amazing work. Okay, so
Thank you.
So is it kind of like more like a sketching kind of process for you as an artist?
As an artist, I mean, as a fine artist or
No,
a
as
tattooer?
a kind of like the technique you do, because okay, this is why I'm saying this, because if I've been sketching a lot, and I do the rub
You
thing.
do the smudge with
I
the thumb.
smudge
Yeah.
and then I kind of if I paint after that, I'm kind of like doing the same kind of thing because you're used to doing that. I'm just curious about, I know it's a whole different instrument, but.
Yeah, skin is not, you have to be very specific on if you're on skin, if you're on canvas. I even psychologically have to go to, sometimes I have to put a suit on when I'm tattooing so that my mind can take me away from, this is not painting, because painting, you kind of have to lose your mind, and tattooing, you have to be very focused and a lot slower. So for me, with canvas and paintings, it's what you leave out of the painting that makes it, and then with tattooing, you have to slow it down. But I don't know if I answered your question or not, but
well, put the mic closer to your mouth. But yeah, you kind of did. That was really interesting, especially.
Sergeant.
I know. I told you, I'm not shy about saying, put the microphone in your mouth, right? These guys know. Like, shove it in there.
Got it. It's all the way in, I think.
Yeah, it'll just get worse and worse if you don't do what I say.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I feel a hand on the back of my head?
Yeah, you will be able to see the tattoos on your back.
All right, terrific. So mic is near the mouth, so.
Okay. So, no, I actually liked what you said there. Okay, so I'm going to quote you because I think this is really, really cool. And you guys probably want more champagne. Oh, you're filled up. Good job.
Laura was hoarding it when you left.
Okay. I like this. Art is an electricity that passes through the eye into the heart and out of the hand. I will be on the quest for this eye, heart, hand reflex for the rest of my life.
I haven't heard that in a while.
A lot of people say that, but of their own beliefs. But obviously, that's what you're still believing and still doing, and you're still alive. It did say for the rest of your life. So.
Yeah, I'm still here.
So I guess that's why. So you want to elaborate on that at all? So it starts with the eye.
Yeah, and that happened back in, I think it was 2008. I ended up getting this wacky idea based on the inspiration of my mother. I ended up cycling across the country and doing portraits of people living with pancreatic cancer. So I had this situation where it'd be like with music, it would just be, more ear, heart, hand, and so the whole connection between art would be, it always has to pass through and come out. Knowing that the technical aspect of art is great, and, being able to go to school and illustrate this and that, but ultimately the tools are great, but there is something, that may or may not be missing with some, art that I've done. I feel, kind of like, oh, that was a failure. That painting's this one somehow was different.
Okay, what's really interesting, you touched on two things that we're going to touch on even more that are really relevant to our topic here today. But right now, we're going to take a break. We'll see you in a minute.
Previously on Vantage Point.
When I've done it, I'm unhappy with it, and I fucking hate it. And then I shut, because by the time you've shown it, it's like you've had the idea, you've done the sketch, you've stretched the canvas, you've made the painting, you've shipped it to the country, you've put it on. By the time it's time to show it, a lot of the time I'm like, oh god, that's awful.
I know.
And then I come back to it, and I'm like, oh okay, and I can see the merit in certain parts of it. But yeah, I don't know, dude. The painting is, it was never kind of like, I didn't try and think, right, what can I take from graffiti and what can I take from illustration? It did just kind of happen.
To listen to the full interview and find more information, visit our website at vantagepointberlin.com.
Previously on Vantage Point.
Till the end of the 90s, we had two scenes in the city. Even if the wall was down, let's say the first 10 years after the wall was falling down, we had the East and the West Berlin graffiti scenes, and I would say, and I also hear it from some West Berlin guys in these days, or after that the East Berlin scene were growing very fast, and I would say latestly in the mid-90s, I would say they were the better guys. They're coming from East Berlin. I don't know why.
But say that.
To listen to the full interview and find more information, visit our website at vantagepointberlin.com.
Previously on Vantage Point.
And it's not really a thought out concept from beforehand. We just paint what we love to paint. I mean, in school they always told us just liking something is not a reason. And we're like, but if I like it, I want to buy it.
Just before art school, I already was interested a bit in graffiti, and I did some tags and some stupid characters, but I only knew like the magazines with throw-ups and pieces, and never saw anything like realism or really nice characters and stuff like that.
To listen to the full interview and find more information, visit our website at vantagepointradio.com.
Okay, welcome back. I don't know what I do in between, but I can't hear myself think. Probably because I'm not doing it. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you did that that ride, which was absolutely amazing. Of course, I stalked that.
Oh, thanks.
Interestingly, my mother died of that.
Really?
Thing.
Wow. I'm sorry.
She didn't make it past 40, so it was a long
Wow.
time ago, and really, yeah.
It's quick when that
It's
happens.
so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really quick. Yeah. So your pancreas is not something to mess with,
No.
right?
No.
No second chances with that.
0. Yeah, so that was a long 3-month transition of bicycling every day. But it was great. It inspired me a lot.
So, and you went to, Barstow, Death Valley Junction, Las Vegas, Cedar City, Monticello, Montrose, Pueblo, Boulder, Scott City, Wichita. I guess I don't have to go through all these.
Yeah, it
But
was-
you ended up, where did you end up? You ended up in
I
Chicago.
ended up at my mother and father's front door in a little town called Marseilles, which is where my grandmother used to live. And so basically I just stopped the ride right at that little house that I grew up in, and my dad was there, and there were, this was pre-social media, so
Yeah.
there
I
were
saw your
still
blog, though.
a lot of, support through every town. There were media stops, and, so it was, it was great.
So about how many miles did you ride a day?
I usually try to cover 50, 100, usually not 100, but 50, depending upon who I met in the town or what was going on. Sometimes I would just stop, and I had kind of certain cities that I needed to be at for, to do like a drawing of a certain person, because I had a really great person helping me. Her name was Megan, so she kind of coordinated all the media and basically the people who I needed to sketch who were battling pancreatic cancer.
So how many people did you end up sketching?
I believe it was
journey?
around a lot, but like around 15 specific
Wow.
people or so as I traveled across, and then the show ended up at Northwestern in Chicago. And
How
yeah,
did
it
you
was
feel? How did you feel on the other end?
cycling was, oh, you mean
Just the whole experience.
it was, mainly connecting with my mom. So I would be cycling, and it's such an incredible meditation to be cycling for so many
Meditating on your
months.
mom for
And
a few
then,
months.
I'm not a cyclist, so I just sort of looked on the Google and said, hey, a bike should look kind of like this when you want to travel far, if it's not going to break down.
It totally sounds like something I would do.
Yeah,
I'm
so, I mean,
I'm just like, okay, I could do this.
I had, everything was breaking, and I was like, oh my God, that seat, I had just a
the
leather.
seat is not your best friend
Yeah.
when you're cycling for a distance. I don't care what sex you are.
No.
It doesn't matter.
And so I literally remember being in, let's say, Palmdale, and sleeping on the ground, thinking, did I say
the
I
hell
was
am
going
I
to do
doing?
this? I don't like, I'm trying to call my mom's name. Nothing's happening. So I had to get through. So.
That's incredible. Yeah, it's on that kind of a journey. Not only do you probably do a lot of reflecting, but your biggest wish is probably a tractor seat.
Yeah, absolutely. Something like that. And I never took rides. People would be like, man,
Yeah.
I went through Death Valley. I remember downing salt packets when I was at McDonald's
Wow.
just so I could keep the hydration and feeling. I didn't want to prepare for the trip. I wanted to prepare on the way. And the whole principle of that is to prepare. Nobody is prepared for cancer.
Exactly.
So I'm
Wow.
thinking, well, hey, why don't I see what it would be like to be in 120 degrees and cycling up, this. So a lot of mountain ranges, and by the end it was easier. But at first it felt like I was vomiting in the ditch and trying to not have heat stroke and whatnot.
So what time of year was this?
I left in the full moon right around. I think it was
the full moon.
August.
Maybe you should have started at the new moon.
Full moon.
Maybe that would have been better.
Yeah,
End on the full moon.
Yeah, it was August, and I ended up. I guess it was 3 months later.
Yeah, I
around
guess.
2,700 miles, something.
Wow. Furthest I've gone at one time is 50.
That's good. Yeah, it's good. It's a lot, and then after a while, 200 miles doesn't seem that far.
No.
1,000 miles doesn't seem that far after a while. But now, I haven't been on the bike since, actually, too much. So now, for me to ride to, downtown from my studio would be like, I'll pass on that.
I did. I'm from Humboldt, and we have one of the hardest. They call it a century. The tour of the unknown coast. I mean, because it's bluffy and it's gnarly.
Yeah,
well, I decided I was going to do the 50. This was years ago, and the only thing requirements I had of myself was to never get off my bike and to finish it under, was it 3 hours or 4 hours, however that would equal, if you never got off your bike. But it's like early. It's gnarly terrain.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Great.
And there were, I don't know how many people participated, like over 500, and I was under 100, so I was pretty happy about it.
That's great.
I think it was
cycling
under 4 hours.
is no joke. Yeah.
That's
At
no
first,
joke.
your ass kills you.
Oh,
It's
well,
like
a lot of things. But it was funny because some of the terrain in that area is like so steep. Your bike is barely moving. People are off, walking their bike up, going way faster than me. But I told myself, don't get off the bike. So I'm like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's,
but I did it.
That's great.
I felt super good about it too. And training, nah.
That's
Who needs
good.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really awesome. I already think you're a superhero.
Thank you.
Wow. Superheroes don't need to say thank
Let's,
you. You just
let's
are.
move on over to the other
Are you gonna start
area of
blushing?
town.
Okay, tell us about this apprentice.
Jane Cho,
Miss-
a.k.a.
Miss Jane.
Cho Master
Ooh.
Extraordinaire.
Cho Mama.
Show Master. She's she's my second apprentice. I've roughly, I haven't been without an apprentice, luckily, for about 5 years, and I was fortunate enough that she contacted me, and there she is, still barely making it, and she's she's doing it too slow, still.
Ah, well, isn't that what you told her? You told her slow.
What do you think, Show Master?
Every other day, you're just telling me, Jane, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Why are you being so defiant?
And then he chases you around. Well, maybe that's why things aren't getting done.
Get it done, Jane. You got no time for
Get
that.
it done, Jane. You know what I love about Jane? A lot of things, but one thing is she draws those hairless cats, which I have one. His name is Yoda.
You do?
I do, and he's a freak. That's my
What?
second one. They're freaky.
That's your next tattoo. Is that hairless
You know
cat
what?
in a Dracula?
I probably would get a yeah, I probably would. They're cool. They're super cool. Do you have one?
Oh, it's my dream to have one in the future.
Oh.
I mean, people tell me it's like having a naked old man in your living room.
Well, now that you say that, you want mine? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I just want to, put clothes on it, give it baths, put coconut oil all over it, just take care of it.
You know what's really funny? They're not feline-like much at all. They're really weird. They're more like a monkey. They're really intelligent, really smart.
Is yours trained to use the toilet?
You know what? I tried.
Didn't work?
No, he decided he just didn't want to do it, and then I felt really bad for him because he was doing it because he because I told him to. It's not natural for them to go in the toilet. And so he's finally, he's just like, I'm like, I couldn't, he'd just cry. He would cry and cry and cry because he had to go. He didn't want to do what I told him to do, but he would do it, but he didn't want, and I'm just like, this just isn't right.
Yeah.
So I
go in the sand.
Right,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
right. So I'm just, so.
They also just give you this look while they're doing it. Like, here, I'm doing, are you happy? I'm not happy.
I think some cats are fine with it, but this one, nah, I just felt bad for him. He just, he didn't like it. Okay, so what did, is that Al from Speakeasy?
No, this is actually this is from Speakeasy here.
Ah, well, who is that? Who
That's
is that
my,
dude?
That's my father. He passed
father
away.
dude.
And Scott did it. And it's amazing. I love it.
Such an honor.
Yeah.
He was,
It's an odd place to be able to show the camera, but can you try?
I could try.
The camera's there.
If I stood up a little.
Can you see it at all? Oh, you can kind of see it. Okay, cool. Right? You guys can see it.
Portraits
That's awesome.
always take a lot of extra effort. Portraits, especially portrait
Oh,
tattoos.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, no pressure. It's a lot of
No.
pressure.
There's a lot of meaning behind them as well.
So is that your most difficult type of tattoo? Is it portrait
it's,
tattoo?
Yeah, it's, when especially something like this, you get an eyelash out of place, and there you go. It isn't him or her anymore.
Isn't that
Liter-
weird?
Not
or
literally,
what?
but
no,
yeah,
it's weird, right? I do not tattoos. I do
You're a
tattoos.
tattooer as well?
No, I am not.
You didn't tell me.
Coincidence.
No, I do. I sketch portraits, and
Oh.
you're sketching, and there's a point where you got them,
Yeah.
and that you can lose them. I lost
Yeah.
I lost Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Never got him back. I would
Yeah,
just
they
have to
go,
start
they
that.
go away. And,
Right?
yeah.
Is it weird? Does that happen with you? You sketch, I'm sure too.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of portrait work. I do a lot of portraits via paintings because it's pretty specific when I'll take a portrait. It'll be usually a memorial, obviously. I don't think I would do one. I've done some that are still, living, but yeah, it's definitely something that I like to, take my time with and make sure I have the sketch done and study. I had her father's picture with me for, what was it, about 6 months or 5-6 months or something. So it's about what I like to keep.
So what do you mean? So studying how?
Just try to
Staring
study.
at it?
Yeah,
Or I mean, are you like?
Yeah, drawing, finding out the small little idiosyncrasies that every person has, and you try to get that. So,
So do you think that translated somehow logically in your mind?
What do you mean translate the?
Well, when you say that, I'm just saying from my side because I have no idea how I get there. Just terrible. I wasn't classically trained either or formally trained as an artist, and I just kind of feel around.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
and
good.
So, but I don't know where it comes from. I just know, okay, I got him. And then you'd don't want to do anything because you'll lose him, like I said.
No,
Mr.
you
Petty.
know what? I've had to do, commissions and, and then by the time you're done, you don't know what you've got. I can't see it anymore. I have to, Jane, get over here. Take a look at this. What the hell's going on with this?
Hi,
does
Mikey.
that person look like, so she'll be under the gun because I can't use my eyes anymore after a while.
So it's kind of the same, I guess, for you. You see you're on the right track, and then it just you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You're kind of thinking you've almost talked yourself into the fact that that's close or that's right on. I think. I mean.
Well, with a tattoo, a tattooed portrait, you probably use a lot less lines. Do you?
The way everybody's different. Some people will go in with, I believe, I don't know a lot about people's techniques, but for me, I usually work my way up because you have a large stencil there, and hers is a pretty large one sitting piece, so you don't want to lose that stencil. So I'll work my way up and just start to indicate things, usually with a shader, and you don't use a lot of lines. If you do, it's could be blood lined in or just so that it's indicated and you can go back. But
I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds really cool. Okay, we're going to take a break. It's a good time because then we'll stay on schedule. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Poetry and a fusion of poetry and music. Poet, muse, enigma, Ellen Maybe.
Wow. Hi.
Thank you for including me as a bohemian who brings you down to my wild and wicked beatnik past.
Performed at Glastonbury in England because Jackson Browne took a liking to her stuff.
I really want everybody out there to experience this music and poetry duo. Who would go first?
Oh, that's a funny one. Oh,
Take it.
Okay. Only tomorrow, leaving its footprints on today. There was a lighthouse overlooking the sea.
It's not just one wave, baby. There's another one right behind it.
Ooh, it's like a waterbed.
So here's one of the rogue waves for you, for Polina. Because Polina and I have a lot of psychotropic experience in our past.
Psychotropic.
Television's been impeding my decision making. I cannot decide if I should stay or I should go. I should know.
Told you it was a sparkle unicorn.
Performed an entire set for a giraffe and his parents.
Yes.
A baby, 9-month-old giraffe who was 9 feet tall at the time.
Do you ever wish you were a person? People, do you ever wish you were a giraffe? Kiko of Greenville, you are so lovely. He has a new baby brother who's even taller than him at birth. Oh.
Welcome back to the Hollywood Post Show. Okay, the Brit Week group art show, Britfluenced, which opened on April 23rd, runs through Saturday, May 14th at the Gaba Gallery, 3126 Beverly Boulevard, Los Angeles. Curated by Cindy Swarstein, founder of Cartwheel Art Magazine and Cartwheel Art Tours. The show explores the art of UK times LA, emerging and urban artists and how they've been influenced by British culture. Whether with music, film, literature, fashion, architecture, philosophy, pop culture, or science, Britain has affected us. The British are coming. I don't know why I said that. Discover some of the British influence in Los Angeles through the visual art of a diverse group of artists working in a variety of mediums. Actually, that was the East Coast, not the West. So the British are just getting to this side of the world. Okay, from UK artists who call LA home to UK artists who've worked in LA painting murals on our streets to Los Angeles artists influenced by British culture. Britfluence celebrates British culture in Los Angeles. For more info, go to cartwheelart.com. That should be interesting stuff. Check that out. Saturday, May 21st, 8 to 9:30 p.m., a book publication and CD release party for The Red Bull, a fable in poems by Holiday Mason at Beyond Baroque, 681 Venice Boulevard, Venice, California. Join in a magical realism trip through the entire book of persona poems in a casual table-style reading featuring poets Sarah McClay, Mariano Zarro, Brendan Constantine, James Cushing, Paul Lieber, Chuck Rosenthal, Gail Ronsky, Jeanette Clow, Catherine Williams, and Holiday Mason. After a little food and wine, snuggle in the black room at Beyond Baroque and get transported for an hour and 10 minutes as the Red Bull, a fable in poems, is read aloud by these fabulous friends and poets. Dress comfy, bring a pillow. For more on Holiday Mason and to pre-order the Red Bull, visit holidaymason.com. I'm going to be at that. I love Beyond Baroque, and I love Holiday Mason. She's an amazing poet. Okay, one more thing since I have this right here. And I just bought this to support one of my favorite poets. I can't say my favorite poet after Holiday Mason. This is John Gardner, Rogue Waves. Poems and Prose. I talked about this last week. I did go to his book signing, and he signed it in I'm not going to tell you what it says because it's nasty and awful. Because we're good. Because we're really good friends. Okay, so there's 2 more book signings. Sunday, May 22nd, from 5 to 7 p.m. at Laguna Beach Books. If you want to make your way down to the beach, that's at 1200 South Coast Highway, Laguna Beach. And June 1st at the greatest little poetry venue in Orange County, the Ugly Mug. That's at 261 North Glassell Street, Orange, California. So check this out. This man's brilliant. So that's where you can get this book. I don't know where else at the moment, but I'll keep you tuned in. If you didn't, keep you tuned in. Keep you posted. If you want one of these, let me know, and I'll let you know where to get one if you can't make those. Okay. Onward we go. Okay, so Jane, why do you paint these kitties or draw these kitties? Why? And have you tattooed one yet onto anyone?
I haven't tattooed a cat yet, specifically.
No, specifically this cat. I don't care about cats. As a matter of fact, I'm not like super fond of kitty cats, but hairless cats are weird enough for me to really dig. So, anyway, you haven't done one yet.
No, I haven't tattooed a cat yet, but I am ready. I've tattooed other things, but not cats yet. I'm a cat lady. I'm a self-proclaimed cat lady.
Oh.
You see my shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gato.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty cool.
If I didn't have my fiance, I'd probably be living by myself with my 3 cats. Maybe more.
And more cats.
More than 3 cats.
So, fiance.
Oh, yeah.
You are not irreplaceable. You're replaceable by a bunch of cats, is what that equals to. Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So, play your cards right, buddy.
I mean, he's the reason why I don't have more cats.
Ah, okay. So, like
She
I
does
said.
this backpedaling a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm a pro at backpedaling because I kind of run my mouth without really thinking, and then I realize when I think back, like 10 minutes later after the conversation has ended, oh shit, maybe they took this the wrong way.
Do you know what's crazy?
What?
That's exactly what I do, and I actually have a show, and then I go, oh my gosh, did I say that on air? Oh, great, I did.
Yeah, and then
nice.
People
you can't
are
go back.
angry at me. They give me this look every time they see me. I'm like, oh, okay, I just screwed this up.
You know what? At least you made an impression.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So.
Some kind of impression.
Some kind of impression.
At least I made an impression.
Okay, so.
Yes.
Tell us what you think about Speakeasy Tattoo and these people.
I love them.
Do you like them at all?
I know, I hate them. That's why I went there to get a tattoo.
Yeah, terrible people.
Like,
you don't trust them at all?
Don't go there.
Never.
Never.
Oh my god, he's the worst.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Scott's super inspirational. He's like one of the most amazing people I've ever met. He's awesome. Yeah, he's really rad. And Jane,
so it's true what they say?
It is. It's absolutely true. Listen to this man's stories. They're amazing. Yeah. So to me, it was important to get tattooed by somebody who's not only an amazing artist, but is a really awesome person. I take that stuff seriously because it's on my body forever.
No, for sure. And also that he's a damn good artist.
And absolutely.
That really, like, it does play a part. I mean, there's a lot of great tattoo artists. But, I mean, I really think that if you have that other part, that really, you know, give a shit artistic part, it matters. And well, we could get into that. So your form of education was pretty interesting.
Oh, we're gonna go into that.
We don't have to go. we don't have to go deeply into that.
I'm
but
fine.
I think
I'm fine with that.
But I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay, first of all, before we do that, let's check out Scott's art. Let's go to Scott's video of his art, and then we'll get into where all that came from. We'll be right back. told you. Okay, so you actually got a lot of your experience from the other side of that.
That's right.
As an art model, which I've had a lot of art models on here, right, guys? Lots of art models.
Yeah, I did.
The Gallery Girls are some of my biggest.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
very
I'm fans of them.
Close friends, some of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and they're amazing. Oh, my thing's cutting out. Okay, so pursued a unique form of art education on the other side of the canvas. So, how long did you do that?
You know, that was my reality for, I don't know, many hours a day for several years, over probably maybe 8-10 years. I don't have a good reflection of time. It's sort of
sometimes that's a really great thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it was 1 year, 10 years. That's my window.
Yeah, 1 to 10
yeah,
years.
1 to
this
10
went
years. So, but yeah, I figured that you know, I didn't really. For me, it wasn't the road to be in an academia type of setting. So I chose to be in that setting on my own terms and not go in debt doing it. So I got to be, luckily I made friends with some really excellent influences who have honed my art, and our professors and also students. And yeah, so I was doing that, and then on a break I would go to the next room and draw for 5, and then I would do all the homework whenever I got home, and you know, it was long days, 15-20-hour days for years.
Because you wanted to do this.
Yeah, I just, you know, it was hard. So, you know, if it's not hard, it's.
I love that. I love that. I had to bring it up, and we don't have to talk anymore about the modeling, but it's the way you did it, because I couldn't go to school either. I'm completely uneducated. If you hadn't noticed, y'all. No, but it's, you know, it's a lot. Not most, but a lot of the great influences ever on the planet didn't have the luxury of going to school and being educated.
Yeah, it's somewhat debilitating for me. I don't really have I don't do well with structure, so. I mean, I was in the military, you know, and I got in, got out, but.
Was it instead of going to jail?
Yeah, that was my community service. I had to, you know, go and do 5 years in the military. No, it's.
Because there is that. There's, I was in the military. I served my country. And it's like, was it an option instead of going to jail? Well,
I had to do that too. So, you know, I had to do both, unfortunately.
Okay. So, but a firm believer in learning through experience. Me too. Absolutely. That's the only way you really get it, right? Because I don't care what. Okay, so you can go to school and you can be super book smart and seem really smart. But it doesn't teach you, like, common sense or how to get here from
if you're driving in the left lane and I'm passing you on the right, you may want to go into the right lane. That's my public service announcement right there. You know, rolling in that, you know, kind of be, you know, that. So, sort of similar.
Sort of similar.
Maybe not. Maybe have no relevancy.
Okay, we're going to take a break because we're running out of time. We'll see you in a minute.
We were doing spoken word, spoken song, but we talked about photographers, we talked about painters, we talked about dancers, we talked about Shakespeareans, regular actors, poets, writers.
Art on any level, whether it's music, visual art, writing, you know, any kind of creative endeavor, that there's a value to it.
We merged the worlds together, the art world and the music world.
You know, they say everything is with the right brain, the visionary, the imagination. So what we need to do is, as spirit beings who have limitless potential, is to tap into the left brain.
When you improv, you're completely connected to the music. I'm coming from the opposite direction. I started with the best of the best.
Exactly.
Right? I started with Versace and Armani and Yves Saint Laurent.
It's kind of becoming like the rock star thing to do is instead of being in a band and going on tour, we just go on tour to paint walls.
It is a challenge for us how to be true to ourselves and at the same time be able to pay bills, be able to do it as a vocation.
The industry has changed. We have gaming, we have animation industry.
I started my career as an animator, a Disney character animator.
A figure drawing instructor at Noman School of Special Effects.
Create a sculpture within a sculpture within a sculpture. You can create things that unfold. You can create things that work and walk around and things like that. So people's imagination is just going to be ignited.
Yeah, I was a professional stage actor for 8 years in New York.
What was weird is that when I was spinning around, I literally I started laughing uncontrollably, and I felt like I was going insane.
Creativity and art in all shapes and forms is a way of communication with everybody. It goes through language barriers and racial barriers and everything.
Okay, so mind over matter, just do it. You know, people say, oh, I don't have enough time to be creative. I have this job. You know what? None of that's any kind of excuse. You have a 15-minute break. You can do something on. But seriously, it's we need it for our soul, for one thing. Scott, can you imagine not creating in some form?
Nope. If I'm not painting, I'm building motorcycles. That's generally my break. I like the idea of machines.
Do you think you have a motorcycle?
I have a few. Yeah, I like racing them, and
wow.
Because you have very.
Have you been to Sturgis?
One time. That's
Ooh.
I had to do it once, but it's not my thing.
I did it once too. I had a Harley.
You did?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I got the tattoo on my inner thigh.
Yeah. I didn't see that one either.
Yeah, I don't really have one on my inner thigh yet. Okay, anyway, now I'm embarrassed. Okay, so yeah, I can imagine not creating too. And creativity comes from, whatever you're into, it doesn't really matter. There's no limitations. If you want to be creative in the kitchen or be creative in bed, just kidding. No, but that's cool too. You can do that. What do you think? Come on, Jane.
Jane SHO, do a good answer.
Man.
Do a good answer, Jane.
Do a good answer.
Okay, well, let me think of something real quick. The last year...
Creativity is important for you, I can tell.
Important. I had a full-time job during the first year of my
Keyword here,
apprenticeship.
had.
Yeah, had. I had to get rid of it.
Now she's poor.
I am very poor. Please give me money. GoFundMe
Support the creatives.
Yes. If you, my name is Jane SHO. If you want to send me some money, I'm really up for that right now. But, yeah, I had a full-time job, and I had to balance this out because with my full-time job, it wasn't creative at all. And I had a dream, I had to go and make something out of myself instead of just working behind a desk all the time. And I had to make it work, and I made it work. And, my boss was really pissed at me, but it was all worth it in the end because right now I'm just so much happier with myself. It's what I wanted to do my whole life.
I don't know how we could possibly grow and advance and evolve as human beings if we're not creative. Aren't we going the wrong way if we're not creative, if we're just in the hamster wheel doing what the boss or society tells us to do?
Yeah,
I don't dig that. We have to be creative. Be creative. Have a voice.
Now I'm even learning about motorcycles. From
no
Scott.
way. From this guy?
That's part of the apprenticeship. You got to be able to bleed brakes, and you also have to be able to put, carpentry, calligraphy, shipbuilding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, he's got a ship. It's pretty sweet. Looks like
The
a
best
pirate
ship
ship
ever.
made out
Yeah.
of wood, not fiberglass.
Laura knows. Yeah, you
Okay.
guys-
Where can we find you, Scott? Speakeasy Tattoo in Los Angeles.
Yes, the address is sort of messed up. It's you
Oh,
can't.
did I say it wrong? Oh,
no, no.
I didn't say it at all.
The actual physical address
Ah.
doesn't exist. It's sort of wrong in all
Aspects
types
of the
But
word?
yeah, generally it's not. No. Yeah, it's in Los Angeles and SpeakeasyTattoo.com. I think you said it. Yeah.
So check it out, and you'll find Jane there too.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. Anything you want to know about the show? Anybody going to be on the show? Has been on the show? Archives? All my social media junk. Go to www.whatpuzzlepiece.com. We're going to leave you with an amazing little time lapse of Scott's work. So check it out, and we'll see you next week with Harmful If Swallowed. So don't swallow. Spit.
You can get a suntan on the moon. You can get a suntan on the moon. Thank you, Mr. President, for my holiday, sir. Thank you, Mr. President, for my holiday, sir. Couldn't really say that I wish you were here. Thank you all the same, sir.
You are watching T Radio V, Radio and TV.